So let's look more at CPT evaluation and management leveling. Now notice that many of your E&M codes have 3 square bullets with text in bold underneath them. For example, 99201, you see in bold there is a problem-focused history, problem-focused exam, straightforward medical decision making. So these are the key components. So if you have CPT codes that list the key components, then we first need to know how many service levels are there. And that's a simple matter of counting up the number of codes in that grouping. So for new patients, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 codes. So that means there are 5 service levels. Let's look at the number of service levels for established patient. Now, please ignore, this is a rarity, this is an exception, ignore the fact that 99211 does not have key components. So this is the rare exception, but we're still going to consider it service level 1. So the number of codes under established patient is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that equates to 5 service levels. And I recommend you write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off to the side in your CPT to remind you what service level each code represents. So a 99202 is a service level 2. A 99204 is a service level 4. A 99213 is a service level 3. A 99215 is a service level 5. Now, it is purely coincidence that the number of service levels equals the last number in these CPT codes. It will not always be, a service level 5 will not always end in the number 5. A service level 4 will not always end in the number 4. So don't fall into that trap. Count the number of codes in that grouping if key components is listed, and that equates to the number of service levels. Now, let's look at something else to put in your CPT to make life easier for you. So back to 99201. We have a problem-focused history, a problem-focused exam, straightforward medical decision making. So off to the side, to make life easier for me, I'm going to write P for problem-focused history, P for problem-focused exam, and S for straightforward medical decision making. Under 99202, I'm going to write E for expanded problem-focused history, E for expanded problem-focused exam, S for straightforward. For 99203, I'm going to write D for detailed history, D for detailed exam, L for low complexity medical decision making. Under 99204, I'm going to write C for comprehensive history, C for comprehensive exam, M for moderate decision making. Now don't confuse this M with medical decision making. M stands for moderate. 99205, I'm going to write C, C, and then I'm going to write an H for high complexity. I'm going to do the same thing with my established patient codes. So for 99212, I'm going to write P, P, S. For 99213, I'm going to write E, E, L. For 99214, D, D, M. For 99215, C, C, H. Now one last thing I want to mark in my CPT is the number of key components that are required for each grouping. So back to 99201, you see it requires 3 key components. So off to the side someplace, wherever it works, either circle the 3 or right off to the side 3 out of 3. So all 5 codes under new patient requires 3 out of 3 key components to be at the same service level, or you have to bill the lowest service level. For 99211 through 99215, we only need 2. So I would circle the number 2, or I would write off at the side 2/3 and circle 2 and 2/3. So I would do that for the rest of the codes under established patient. So now I know what service level each individual code is. I have a little shortcut to make life easy for how detailed are my service levels, and I also know if I need 3 out of 3 or 2 out of 3. So now the rule is, if you need 3 out of 3 key components, we must choose the lowest service level of our bullets. So for example, let us say that we have the problem that is detailed history, a detailed exam, and let's say though that there's moderate complexity of decision making. So I have a detailed history, a detailed exam, and a moderate complexity medical decision making. So now, off to the side on a scrap sheet of paper, I would write DDM. DDM. Okay, so D, under new patient in the office, that is a service level 3. So I'm going to write a 3. Then next to it, the D, that is also a service level 3. So I'm going to write the 3. Now the M, under new patient in the office, moderate decision making, is a service level 4. So I'm going to write 4 there. So I have 3, 3, and 4. So now I have to choose my lowest service levels. And with 3 out of 3, it doesn't matter moderate decision making was a service level 4. I must go with my lowest number, and my lowest number is the number 3. So I must bill a service level 3 for new patient in the office, and that is on my claim form, I will put 99203. Let's use that same DDM for established patient. So for established patient, detailed history is a service level 4. Detailed exam is a service level 4. Moderate decision making is a service level 4. So for that one, they are all 4s, and even though we drop the one of the 4s, and then we choose the lower of the remaining bullets, which are both 4s, and so we're going to have a service level 4. So if we have a DDM for established patient in the office, we'll bill a service level 4, and that will equate to code 99214 on the claim form. Okay, so let's look at some other examples. So let us say new patient in the office, and we have a expanded problem-focused history, a problem-focused exam, and straightforward medical decision making. So I have written off to the side EPS. EPS. So expanded problem-focused history, new patient in the office, is a service level 2. Problem-focused exam is a service level 1. straightforward decision making. Okay, now we have something interesting going on. Straightforward decision making is duplicated with service level 1 and service level 2. Now, when we have duplication of service level, if we have duplication of the language of the service level, then we get to choose the higher of the two service levels to give our physicians the most credit. So if we have straightforward decision making, a level 1, straightforward decision making, a level 2, I'm going to say that that S is a service level 2. And I'm entirely within my rights to do that, and I want to do that. Because you can imagine a service level 2 pays more than a service level 1. So if there is duplication among the language in your CPT for the key component, choose the higher of the two. Do not confuse this with the 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3. This is something totally different. So back to our problem. I have an E history, which is a service level 2, a problem-focused exam, which is a service level 1, straightforward decision making, that's a service level 1 or 2, but I'm going to choose 2. So I have 2, 1, 2. So now with new patients, I need 3 out of 3. So whatever my lowest service level is, that is what I must bill. So my lowest level is a level 1, so I must bill 99,201. Let's use that same EPS over in established patient. So for established patient, EPS, E for history is a service level 3. P for exam is a service level 2. Straightforward decision making is a service level 2. So when we have 2 out of 3, throw out your lowest service level. So I'm throwing out just one of those two. I've got 3, 2, 2. I'm throwing out one of those two. And so now I'm looking at 3 and 2. And after I throw out my lowest, I must go with my next lowest, which in this case is 2. So I will bill a service level 2, which is a 99,212. Let's do another couple of examples. Back to established patient. Let us say that we have a comprehensive history, a comprehensive exam, and moderate decision making. So a comprehensive history, I've got duplication. So I've got a comprehensive history in a level 4, comprehensive history in a level 5. So I've got a 4 or a 5, and I'm going to choose the higher one. So I'm going to write a 5 for my comprehensive history. I've got the same thing happening with the exam. Comprehensive is duplicated among service level 4, and service level 5. So I'm going to pick the higher to give my physician more credit, and so that's going to be a 5. Now, my decision making is moderate. Moderate decision making is only in one service level, and that is service level 4. So for a new patient in the office, I must go with whatever my lowest service level is. So 554, I must choose 4, which equates to 99,204. Let's look at CCM for established patient. So for an established patient in the office, a comprehensive exam is a service level 5. There's no duplication. So a comprehensive history is a service level 5. A comprehensive exam is also a service level 5. Moderate decision making is a service level 4. And I need 2 out of 3. So with 2 out of 3, I throw out my lowest number. In this case is 4. So I throw out that 4. Now I'm left to choose between a 5 and a 5. And so of the two, 5, whichever 5 you want to use, 5 is the lowest of the two remaining. So I'm going to bill a service level 5, which is 99,215. Let's do another. New patient. New patient. Let's say that we have a detailed history, a detailed exam, straightforward decision making. So new patient in the office, detailed history, detailed exam, straightforward medical decision making. So detailed history, detailed exam, there's no duplication. Those are both a service level 3, so I'm going to write 3, and then I'm going to write the number 3. Now, straightforward decision making. That is a service level 1 and a service level 2. I'm going to give my physician the most credit where I can, so I am going to say that the straightforward decision making is a service level 2. So I have 3, 3, 2. And so I will now bill a service level 2 because I got to go with the lowest of the 3, and that is a 99,202. So do not choose 99,201 because we have straightforward decision making is a 1 or a 2, and when you get to choose the higher service level because that's what you get paid to hire it more for, and it's legal to do it. So for a detailed history, detailed exam, straightforward decision making, new patient in the office, I've got 3, 3, 2. I need 3 out of 3. So of those 3, 3, 3, 2, I must go with the lowest, which is a service level 2. So now let's go look at established patient. I have a detailed history, a detailed exam. Those are both service level 4s. And then my straightforward decision making is a service level 2. So I've got 4, 4, 2. Now, I've got a two-step dance, so I must throw out the 2. And now I'm left with 4s. Go with the lower of the 4, which is 4. So that is 99,214. 99,214. Let's do another one. Let us say we have a detailed history, a comprehensive exam, and low complexity of medical decision making. So I've got detailed history, comprehensive exam, low decision making. So DCL. So for new patient in the office, a detailed history is a service level 3. A comprehensive exam could be a service level 4 or a service level 5. So which one are you going to pick? You're going to pick the service level 5. Because you get, if there's duplication, go with the higher. And so I got a service level 5. And now low decision making is a service level 3. So I've got 3, 5, 3. So I must go with my lowest, which is 3. Doesn't matter which 3. The detailed 3 or the low 3, they're both 3s. So I'm going to go with the service level 3, and I will bill 99,203. Let's go to established patient, the same ones, D, C, and L. So detailed history, established patient is a service level 4. No duplication. Comprehensive exam is a service level 5. There's no duplication. between the language. Low complexity decision making is a service level 3. So I have established patient in the office. I have 4, 5, 3. So when I need 2 out of 3, I'm going to throw out my low man, which in this case is the number 3. And now I'm left with a 4 and a 5. So I must go with the lowest of those 2 remaining, which makes a service level 4. And so I would bill a 99,214.